Yo, 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 what's going on? It's ya boy, Shawnee Sean. And it was the NFL Honors last night, which was pretty cool, if you ask me. Brock, pretty cool, actually, if you ask me. Um, but wanted to go over some of my reactions and talk about the Super Bowl and lots of other fun stuff. So let's get into it. NFL MVP was Lamar Jackson for the second time. He is the second youngest repeat MVP of all time. I think behind Jim Brown. Yep. Surpassing, or I guess being younger than Brett Favre and Patrick Mahomes, who both had also won multiple MVPs. Um, still didn't win in the AFC Championship or get enough there. Although he did a pretty good job in that game. I'd say it was more of the offensive scheme, but I digress. Congratulations to Lamar. Looks like Josh Allen was got some votes, Dak Prescott and CMC. So nice to see that Christian McCaffrey got some love because it seems like it's basically just a quarterback's award. Coach of the year went to Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Cleveland Browns, and he did a great job this year. Really, the defense was incredible, and going through the hurdles of Deshaun Watson, and then having Joe Flacco lead the team, and honestly upset and pretty awesome. Comeback player of the year. We'll get to that in a second. But I was really rooting for D'Amico Ryans to win this, the head coach of the Texans. I thought he did a phenomenal job as his first year. It looks like, as far as the voting, Stefanski won a tiebreaker with D'Amico. And then honorable mentions: Dan Campbell, Kyle Shanahan, John Harbaugh, and Sean McVay. So awesome job for Stefanski, 11-6 mark. Faced a lot of injuries with Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Dustin Hopkins. And I really liked what they did with DTR, their quarterback, for a little bit. PJ Walker, Jeff Driscoll, and eventually Joe Flacco. So pretty fun stuff, pretty amazing. Definitely probably went through more adversity than many of these other coaches, so he deserves it. Way to go. Moving on to comeback player of the year, which was Joe Flacco. Pretty awesome. Way to go, Joe. Audubon High School. My grandpa went there. But the 39-year-old came back and really did an awesome job. Really was sitting on his couch contemplating retirement, and then it's just so many injuries by the Browns. So we'll see if he comes back or actually retires now. It was a fun rooting for him. We got the Flacco fever. But had a great defense with him. Really had an awesome connection with Amari Cooper and David Njoku. But ultimately just not enough to get it done in the playoffs. But still gets comeback player of the year. Honorable mention, I think, should go to Baker Mayfield, who had an incredible resurgence with the what's it called? The Bucks. And DeMar Hamlin also coming back to life. Pretty incredible feat right there, if you ask me. Offensive player of the year went to CMC, which is a nice consolation since he didn't get MVP. Had an incredible season, all-purpose yards, and clearly is one of the biggest reasons why the 49ers are in the Super Bowl this year. He and guys like Chase Young probably help get them over the hump, although I've heard some complaints about Chase Young's play. But we will get maybe to that when we're talking about the Super Bowl. But CMC was pretty incredible all season, along with Tyreek Hill, who, if he was healthy throughout the season, may have won this award. Um, but CMC is just an incredible threat, running the ball and catching the ball. He's moved in and out, and really nice interchange in Kyle Shanahan's offense with Debo. Having both of those guys is like a cheat code, it feels like. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Myles Garrett. He had an incredible year. Bunch of sacks. He was even crossing guys up. Just fun to watch this year. T.J. Watt had a phenomenal season as well, and Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, Deron Bland. Even it's nice to get a defensive back in there. But ultimately, Garrett takes the award home. I think he tied for 14 sacks, which is pretty nice. Getting 7 in the never mind about that. But Jim Schwartz's defense really looked great. So the Browns won a bunch of awards, and so did the Texans, and that moves on to the Texans. What a great transition. And they get Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year with the second and third picks of this year's draft. CJ Stroud gets Offensive Rookie of the Year. Had a phenomenal year. Really did an awesome job as a quarterback. One of the best rookie quarterback seasons we've ever seen. And, that's not to take anything away from Puka Nacua, who also had an incredible receiving rookie year as a receiver. Sam Laporta as well, the tight end for the Lions, had a pretty nice season, along with his running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. And there were a lot of good running backs: Bijan Robinson, Zay Flowers, Jaden Reed, Rashee Rice. So a lot of very nice rookie class. Hopefully they can all improve and really blossom in year 2 and continue that development. But CJ Stroud really set the precedent and really did an incredible job this year, setting so many rookie records. The 22-year-old had a 23-5 touchdown to interception ratio. Stroud joined Tom Brady and Joe Montana as the only quarterbacks to lead NFL in passing yards per game and pass ratio, touchdown interception ratio. Brady and Montana both won MVP that season, so pretty incredible for a rookie to be in the same sentence as that. And he did it with not the prettiest cast of I don't know, sidekicks. I really do like how Tank Dell developed alongside him, and Nico Collins really looks like a phenomenal talent and a very nice compliment. His go-to wide receiver. And they even got guys like Brevin Jordan, their tight end, involved later on in the year. So we'll see if they add maybe a running back or another weapon to that offense. But moving on to the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and that goes to Will Anderson Jr., the 3rd overall pick. The Texans traded up to get him. Pretty awesome. After they had already had the 2nd pick, they also move up to get the 3rd. And he had an incredible rookie season, adding a lot of pressure. And I think that this is really where DeMeco Ryans gets a lot of the credit for for my personal vote of Coach of the Year, getting a linebacker where he formerly played linebacker at Alabama, having a similar player. Didn't disappoint. He really had a pretty incredible season. 45 tackles, 10 tackles for a loss, 22 quarterback hits, 64 quarterback pressures, almost 20% of the time. Really, really incredible overall performance for the Alabama linebacker. And we will see how he does going forward in Houston, but pretty awesome. Moment of the year goes to CeeDee Lamb. I guess that's pretty cool. Walter Payton, Man of the Year goes to Cam Hayward. He had a really nice thank you speech. Really sounds like an incredible job and an incredible award. Really goes out to the guys who are giving back in the community. Really, a prominent voice on and off the field. And Cam Hayward was pretty starstruck. The fact that Prince Harry was actually giving his announcement or whatever for the award, and it's pretty cool. It sounds like a great award, the Man of the Year. It's kind of funny that it goes to a football player, but I guess Time Magazine has Man of the Year, Person of the Year, so similar award, similar name. But it's also Mr. Universe, and it's like this big strong guy, and it's like you won a contest in Miami. But anyway, Pro Football Hall of Fame class for this year is Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis, Randy Gardashaw, and Steve McMichael. Congratulations to all of them. Next year's potential class also looks pretty incredible. I staved a Instagram of that. I forget where it is exactly, but I think like Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman and a bunch of other cool guys are up for the Hall of Fame. So we will see how they do and if they get in. FedEx Ground Player of the Year goes to Brock Purdy and CMC. Salute to Service Award goes to Joe Cardona, the Patriots long snapper. Sorry, I don't know him. Assistant Coach of the Year goes to Jim Schwartz. Browns DC, awesome job. Former Eagles DC, won a Super Bowl. Yay. Bud Light Easy to Celebrate Moment of the Year. Not really sure what that is. I guess we're making up awards now. But it goes to Tommy DeVito, who was pretty awesome and deserves an award of some sort. So nice to see that he gets some recognition. Same thing with his agent, Sean Stellano, I think, something like that, who's just a G when it's all said and done. Looks like he's an Italian mobster and was getting some love there, too. So nice to see some Italian love at the red carpet. NFL Fan of the Year goes to Tim Grossi, so congratulations there. Deacon Jones Sack Leader goes to TJ Watt. Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award goes to Bobby Wagner. NFLPA Page Community Award goes to Calais Campbell. Flag Football Player of the Year, Allison Gradelin. And Jim Brown of the Award goes to CMC. Nice to see him there. A week of the Super Bowl. He's probably going to be a little busy. And that brings us to the big game. Let's go, Super Bowl. And it is currently Super Bowl Friday. I don't know if that's actually how anyone says it, but it's the Friday before the Super Bowl. And we are playing the biggest game of the season on Sunday at 6:30. Probably will start a little bit later, closer to 7, realistically, with all the pregame antics and the performances of the national anthem and Climb Every Mountain or whatever they sing. But this is sort of a battle of what we expected as far as one seeds, the San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. 49ers were 12-5 and the Chiefs were 11-6, so both had great records. And currently it sounds like the Chiefs are actually the dogs in this. I don't know if I actually believe that, but maybe that's just Vegas trying to slip a fast one on you. But I am personally rooting for the 49ers. I do not want to root for the Chiefs dynasty to continue. If you call it a dynasty, it's at least on the cusp of being a dynasty. They have 2 Super Bowls, and they've been there, and this is their second year consecutively there. It's pretty hard to repeat. The Eagles were unfortunately not able to make it to the Super Bowl this year, so many teams usually have a Super Bowl hangover. The Chiefs did not this year and are back in the big game against the San Francisco 49ers, a team that thought they could have been here last year if they maybe had a healthy quarterback throughout the NFC Championship, but Purdy got hurt, and they lost. So I don't know what to tell you. But this is Purdy on the big stage. Mr. Irrelevant. I really like him. I don't think he's gonna really shake that name just because it's still going to be tied to his draft position realistically the rest of his career. But he's really outperformed expectations throughout his entire career so far, the 2 years, and has been a pleasant surprise. Really like what he's been doing. He's more than a game manager. He really does make some spectacular throws on a game-to-game basis and has an incredible supporting cast with Kittle, Debo, CMC, Ayuk. The guys go on. It's pretty incredible to have guys like that to throw to. Um, but we will see how they do. You know, he's going against a very, very good Chiefs defense. They are one of the best in the league this year. Um, George Karlaftis, Chris Jones really bring a lot of pressure. Their secondary, their guy in the slot's really been, I think McDougal, I think that's his name. He's been balling out this year. So we'll see how they match up. And then on offense, you know, the Chiefs have Pat Mahomes, who's still one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the league right now. Makes some incredible throws and has his running mate Travis Kelce, who is trying to get that ring for the Super Bowl, and maybe proposes to Taylor Swift if they win. Probably not, but you know, crazier things have happened. But this is definitely a lot more on Pat Mahomes and Kelsey this year, as the supporting cast for the Chiefs isn't quite as good as it typically has been in years past. There's no Tyreek Hill. There's no I don't know, Jerick McKinnon. Um, so we'll see how Rashi Rice does, and the rest of the young core MVS. You know, these guys have been there. Most of them were on the team last year and clearly got the job done. So we'll see if they can get it done 2 years in a row. The 49ers have a very great defense, great linebackers, good pass rush. Bosa's one of the best in the league. Chase Young's very nice, although has been getting some backlash on effort. I don't know if that's like just a scheme thing, or if that's just a bunch of hogwash. I think he's an incredible talent and has always been, but at the same time, I heard that was issues that he had with the Commanders as well. So something to keep your eye on, especially as he is entering free agency after the Super Bowl, whether they win or lose. I mean, Niners would probably like to retain him, but I think they knew when they traded for him that it was just going to be a one-year rental. But the Niners have a very good defense. This should be a very fun game. A lot of bets. I really like Kyle Juszczyk in bets as far as getting a catch and getting, I don't know whatever his yardage is, but I like the over. I think that when it's the Super Bowl, they really just scheme things up. I really like the idea of Kelsey scoring a touchdown for any time, but I like the under on the national anthem for Reba. Apparently, she's read it, or she's sang it twice in the past, and both times had been under. So take that for what you will. Gatorade color, we'll go with red. I really have no idea, but both teams are red, so I feel like that's just a cop-out guess. Love Usher. I'm really excited for the halftime show. Commercials. Going back to the halftime show, first song, I think leading off with "Yeah" would be awesome. It's just like in the club with my home, or like "Peace Up, A-Town." But that could also be like the big closer. I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Bieber made an appearance and performed. I feel like he's like a little brother and the new generation, or this generation's version of Usher, and he sort of helped. He sort of helped discover J Biebs, so wouldn't be the biggest surprise to see if they collabed. But at the same time, would love to see Usher just go solo, like JT did when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. What's up? 2018 best Super Bowl halftime of all time, mostly just because the Eagles won the Super Bowl and it was JT. I loved NSYNC as a little kid. But other Super Bowl performances or halftime performances that I've loved in the past, The Who, the collaboration when it was like Bruno Mars, Coldplay, and Beyonce, that was awesome. A couple years ago when it was Dr. Dre and Eminem, that was sweet. Um, Paul McCartney, that was a good one. Tom Petty, Prince, that was one of the best actually, just a solo performance. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, follow, and subscribe. Check out Fanatics. They got cool NFL merchandise where you can get it. Get your Super Bowl swag once the team wins if you want. And as always, make sure to check Shawnee Football on all social medias. It's pretty cool. I sometimes post different things on different platforms, so make sure to follow me on all of them to get it all. Anyway, yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty close Super Bowl game. Maybe lower than expected. I don't know. I think the over-under was at like 47, something like that. So I like it close to that, like 23 to 24, or no, like 24 to 21, something like that. We'll go 24-20. I like that. 44. So we'll take the under. We think it's going to be a close defensive match. Team who has the ball last wins. Turnover battle's going to be real important. Hopefully Brock Purdy can be Mr. Relevant. And that's pretty much all I got for you. So peace, love, and happiness. Follow Shawnee Football, and we'll see you next time.